Hello and welcome back. Hope you all are doing good. In today's video, we will discuss macros in Excel using VBA. In the previous videos of Microsoft Excel Advanced course, we have already discussed what is a macro and how to record a macro. So, a quick recap of what a macro is. A macro is an action or a set of action that you can run as many times as you want. It will record your keystrokes, your actions, and it will save your time and effort as the job is automated and you don't have to repeat it again and again. So we have a macro present on the developer tab. Now I have the developer tab in place, but if you are not having the developer tab, no problem, you can always go to file and open options over here, and from the option dialog box which opens for you, that Excel option, you can customize the ribbon, and on the right hand side you can see all the tabs. And if this developer tab is not, this checkbox is not checked over here, you can click and check this checkbox and click on OK. Once you click on OK, the developer tab will appear on your application. In our developer tab, you can see the macro, the Visual Basic, the macro, and from here we have already seen how we can record a macro, plus all these other options are available. Now when we talk about macro coding in Excel, it is done using VB for application or your VBA. So here you have your Visual Basic. If we click on this, it will open the Visual Basic for application and the editor for us where we can do the coding. Your recorded macro is stored, and at the back the coding and the steps are saved using your VBA, and we'll see how the coding is being done in the Visual Basic editor. So let's open the editor, click on VB. You can see the VBA for yourself over here. The editor is being opened. In this editor window, your VBA, you can see the various tabs. Now this is the old-fashioned way when the applications were shown previously. Same interface is available. You can see the tabs over here. If I click on any of these tabs, the drop down, you can see the various options. You don't have the ribbon present over here. You have to click on any of these tabs and a drop down will come, and from there you choose your commands. Plus you have the toolbar, your standard toolbar over here. You can see the various options, your save, your run. We'll talk about these things over here. On the left hand side, you have the project which is open for you for the worksheet on which we are working. So this is your project window, and here you have the properties window of the particular, whatever you click over here, either the work sheet, or when we create modules, the properties of the modules will appear over here. Now I'm using the term module when we have a worksheet and we are trying to do the coding, whether we record the macro or we do the coding itself. It is stored in a module where we'll write our functions and subs. So if we record a macro using the options available, the coding can be opened over here. Let's see the coding. If you press Alt F11, you can switch between Excel and the editor. So we have a macro over here. We can record the macro. Say we record, click on record. You can give a name to this macro, say macro 1, and click on OK. The macro is recording for me. Let me select this area and let's click over here. Let's apply a color to it, say this particular color over here for the text, and a lighter color for the background. Let's have borders over here. Let me write something over here, say name. You can see name over here. Let me change the color to a darker color so that it is visible. You can see now name, say age. So my macro is doing the recording. I can click over here, I can place it in the center. Whatever you are doing, it's been recorded. Now let's go back and stop the recording. Stop recording, click on macros. You can see the macro over here. You can on a different sheet or somewhere else. Let's cancel this first. On a different sheet, let's run our macro. Run. You can see the macro being run by Excel. Over here, let's open the macro coding in VB. You have your modules over here. This is module 1. You can see the code for the macro. This is macro 1. You can see over here, and with the selection we have, I've already told you these things. You can see the different properties for the cells. We have changed the colors, borders, some different color, line style, all those things are available. Same thing we can also do. We can write our own code for the macro, and this is what we are going to do over here. Let me close this module. Let's add a module for sheet number 1. This is a module over here. Let me add a module for sheet number 1. So to add a module, either you right click on the sheet and click on insert and use a module. You can insert a module from here, or you can select your sheet. You can click on insert. From here also you can insert a module for your sheet where your code will be available. Click on module. Now you can see 2 modules over here, module 1 and module 2. We are currently working on module number 2. Module number 1 has the coding for the macro which we have recorded. Simple things. Let's start with simple things. Now we want to add a sub or a function. Now whatever coding we are doing, we write it inside a function or a sub. Now let's see over here. We want to insert some coding over here. Click on insert, and from insert you can see all these options. We have discussed module, user form. If you click on user form, or you can create a form with buttons and radio buttons and checkbox. We are not discussing class module and user forms today. We will discuss about the procedures. Now click on procedures. Here you can see 2 types of procedures. A sub, function, property we'll discuss later. Sub and function. So this, in the small dialog box, you will select either you want to create a sub or you want to create a function. Difference between the two is sub does not return a value, whereas a function can or cannot return a value. You have this option. Sub does not return a value, and a function may or may not return a value. You have that option. So if you are trying to create a sub over here, let's create a sub. You have to give a name to your sub, the way inside which your code will be present. Say we create a sub as display underscore value. We are trying to display a value. This is the name of your sub which you are going to create. You can always click on OK. Here you have 2 options: scope, public and private. Now when we talk about the scope, whether this sub or the function which you will create, is it available to all the modules, or it is available only to the module in which you are writing this particular sub or function. So public, it is available to all the modules over here in this particular project, and if I make it private, it will be available only inside the module where we have created this particular function or sub. We'll take this scope with the help of an example and I'll show you. Click on OK. So you have, these are all the keywords, public, sub, and you end it with and sub. This is the name of the sub which you are trying to create, and inside this we will code. Simple thing, say I want to display my name in a message box. So for that you use message box, and within quotes I say my name, and that's it. I say in a message box display my name. Now you can run the macro from here. You have the run button over here, or you can go to Excel and you can run the macro from there also. Let's run it from here. Click on run. You have the option, same macro dialog box opens for you, and you have to choose which macro you want to run, and once you have selected it, click on run. You can see the name being displayed. You can click on OK. You are taken back. You can go to Excel also. There also you can go to your developer and select the macro. From here also you can run the macro. Now let's go back to our over here. Let's display, like we have displayed a text over here, you can display numbers as well. Say let's insert another procedure. Say display underscore age, and click on OK. Over here we want to say message box, say a number. So numbers you don't have to write within quotes, you can directly write the number and click on run. So this is the macro, and click on run. You can see the number displayed in a message box. Now let's try and write a function. I said we can also create a function same way. Either you can type in over here the entire thing, or you can go to insert. It will insert everything for you. You just have to select and tell whether it is public or what is the scope, then whether it is a sub or a function. We are having a function add underscore number. We'll add 2 numbers and click on OK. So this is a function. Here say I say there is one number 100, the other number as 200, and we are trying to add these 2 numbers. Then we will display it in the message box. Say in the message box I say Z over here. So we have these variables over here, and we are trying to display it. Let's run it. You can see the answer 300. Okay, let's click on OK. So you have a function over here. We have created a function. Now functions, when we create functions, let's see over here. You can see this thing. The macro dialog box is not appearing. It is not available as a macro. It's a function. We can run this function from the Excel sheet itself, like we do run the other functions. Let's see, the name of my function is add number. You can see add number over here. It is not accepting any argument, like we use the sum function, we pass the cell references or we pass the values or range, whatever. It is not accepting anything. So add number and press the enter key. You can see the answer as 300. The function which you create using your editor, it is inserted in the formulas. If I click on formulas and go to insert function, you can see all the functions over here. From here you can select a category and then choose the function, whether it is your financial function or logical function or a lookup function. The function which we create, our created function, they come under the category of the user defined function. So if I click on category and select user defined functions from here, you can see your function here. Just add number we have created, click on OK. You can run the function from there also. The function is being inserted. You can see the result. We have a function over here, add number. So this is just a simple function where I've tried to tell you how we can assign the values and display. These XYZ, these are your variables. Now variables are the containers where your values will be stored. So X is a place or a location in the memory where 100 will be stored. Y is a location where 200 will be used. So these are the containers, your containers, they are known as variables. We declare the variable that this particular variable will hold this type of value, that is this data type. So how do we declare that? We write dim, that is, it's a keyword for dimension, dim X as integer. Integer, that is your number. You have different data types like for double, float, string, shortened, long-end, and so on. You can experiment with those things. I have set dim as integer, so I am trying to declare these variables. You can see over here, you can see this list and choose for yourself. I have declared 3 variables and these are the data types for these variables. So my variable declaration has been done. We have talked about the scope that of the function and sub, whether they are public or private. Now let's pass on values to a function. So let's insert another procedure over here, or let's use the same function, add num, and click on OK. We have add num over here. This time I want to pass some arguments to this function. So I am saying ki X, I am passing on 2 values and they will be of integer type. And over here inside this, we are not making it as static, we are just having a normal function, and inside this we will try to calculate the sum of these two, and then we will display the result using the message box. So this is what we are trying to do. We are trying to pass 2 values of X and Y, and then we will calculate the result. Let's see. Let's go to Excel and see the result over there. Let's calculate the result over here. The function which we have is add num. Let's pass 2 values, say 20 and 40. The answer should be 60. Let's press the enter key. You got the answer 60. So we are trying to pass 2 values and then we got the answer. So whenever you are passing an argument to a function, you have to specify the data type of that particular variable. Now if you know a little bit of coding, then you can experiment with this. Now some function is already in place, sorting, filtering, but there are times when you have some data in hand and you want to perform your own calculation. If you want to do something with that data, the functionality is not available. So there you can make use of macros. There you can hard code or do the coding yourself to perform some action. So if let's make use of a conditional statement over here. Say I have done the calculation. Let's see how we can use if over here. We have done the calculation and I want to say if the z value which we are getting after calculation, if it is greater than 50, then I want to say in this message box, just a second, greater value, and together with that I want to display my value. Let's put spaces there so that it is visible. So you can see we are checking if the value is greater than 50, then this message box will appear, and if not, we are trying to say else the same message box. Let's copy it. Say smaller value and then this message, and if else, and since if is done, we have to write an end if. So we are trying to say कि whatever values are being passed to my function, we are doing the calculation, we are checking for a condition, and accordingly we will display a message box. Let's see. Equal to add underscore num less than 50. So let's execute. The answer is 40. Smaller value 40. Let's again execute it with a greater value. Say add num 30, 50 and press the enter key. Greater value, you are getting a value of 80 and the other message. So you can check for a condition also using the macro which you have created and click on OK. Let's go back to our editor over here. Similarly, you can check for do while also. You can use the do while loop to check for a condition, and there if the condition is being satisfied, you can perform that task n number of time using the do while loop. Now here let's talk about something else. We are trying to use this particular function. We have created this function and we are running this function. The same function can be called from somewhere else also. Say if I have a function add number over here and I want to call it in say display value, then that can also be done. Let's see that. Now let's see how we can call this function add num in some other function or in a sub. Let me remove this. We do not want to display it over here. Now my function will be returning a value, so I can always specify what type of value my function is returning. It will return an integer. Now when we are returning a value, so you have to write the name of the function, that my function is returning this particular value, something like this. The name of your function, the name of my function is add num and it is returning z to some other function. Let's call this function over here in display value. We will run display value and see how it can be called. So using message box, we will call our function. Say the name of my function is add num, and it is taking two values. Say we can pass the values over here and then it will display the value from here. So the value is being returned over here and it has been this function, this end sub and sub, they are calling this particular function. Let's see. Let's run this display value macro. You can see the first statement was the name, then it has done the calculation, the values which we have passed over there, and it is displaying the answer. And we are returned back. If here you can see 50 and 20, it calculated the sum and returned us the answer. If you look closely over here, we are passing arguments to our functions. We are passing some values to our functions. By default, when we are passing values in here in VBA, it is passed by reference. Now whenever we are passing values, either it is passed by reference or by value. When we pass a value, when we pass a variable by reference, then we are passing a pointer or reference to the original value. Whatever changes are being done inside the function, they are reflected back to the original variable. Whereas when we pass a variable by value, we are giving the function a copy of the variable. Whatever changes are being done, it is inside the function only, and it is not reflected back to the original variable's value. Now let's see that also. Let's either you can see use the same example, or we can take up another example also. So I said by default it is by reference. So we have a function over here, add number. Nothing is being specified over here. Let's see. So let's make a little modification over here. Instead of saying z is equal to this, let's add one more sub over here. First, insert a procedure, say sub, say show value. We want to show the value. Click on OK. This is a sub which will show the value. I have dim num as integer. We are having a number, and number equals to say 2000. We have assigned a value of 2000, and let's say message box number equals to ampersand, a space over here so it is visible, and the number itself. In the message box, number will be shown to us to 2000. Then once it is done, let's call our function over here, our add function over here, to see what happens when we pass a value by reference and by value itself. So we are calling the function add num, and we will pass this num value to it, and there we will make the modification to our number. And after the number is being passed, the calculation is being done, we will try and display the answer again. Number after function call. So you can see the number, or number before function call. So before calling the function, what are the changes, and after calling the function, what are the changes to our number. So I think it is visible over here. Let's see, we are passing only one value. So let me make a little modification over here. We are having only one value over here, add number, and inside this what we are trying to do is the variable which is there, we will say x is equal to, that is 1000. Let's add 1000 to it and return the value back to our function. And if you want, you can see the value here also. Same thing. Number let's say number inside the function. So what we are trying to do, we are trying to call a function. We'll display the number before the function call. We will display the number inside the function itself. The value is being returned, and once the value is being returned, we will see the what are the changes. Here we are passing the variable as the integer, and it is by default it is by reference. Let's run this macro over here. Let's run it. Number before function call, it is 2000. Number inside the function, it's not been displayed over here. Let me just check back. Okay. So we have written this. Let's run it and see the result. Let's show value we want to run. Number before the function call, it is 2000. Number inside the function, it is turned into 3000 because we have added 1000 over there. Now this is the number which is being returned by the function, and number after the function call, it is 3000 itself. So since we are passing it by reference, so the number has been changed to 3000. Then click on OK. Let's go back to the editor and see what happens if we pass the number by value. So here you have seen that it is changed to 3000. You can also write over here by reference. It will not have any difference. By default the same thing is being done. Let's make changes and make it by value over here, and this time see the changes. So we will call 2000 with 2000. We'll make changes inside the function. We'll display the value, and then we'll display the number again after calling the function. Let's call this macro. Number before function call, we are passing the variable by value. Click on OK. Inside the function, it has been changed to 3000. The function is returning 3000 as the value. The return value is 3000. And let's see what are the changes being done on the number since we are passing it by value. But after the number after function call, the original value remains the same as 2000. Why? Because we have just passed a copy of the variable, not the reference or the pointer. So this is how things can be done. This is how things can be managed if you do not want to make changes to the original value. That can always be done. You can click on OK. You are taken back. Now we said ki if we make the function, the scope, if we define the scope of a function as public, then it is available in all the modules. But if we make it private, it is available only inside the module where it is being used. If I put this particular sub in some other module, this is module 2, let me copy this, or let me just paste it in module 1 over here. Let's go down and let's place it over here. We have a show value over here. This is a macro, and in module 2, this function which is over here, let's make it private. Since this is a private function, it will be available only in module 2, not in module 1. Let's run this macro from here from module 1 and see. You can see this add number, even though it is written inside module 2, it is not available. It is giving me an error that this function or sub is not defined. Why? Because it is private and it is available only in module 2. Then click on OK. Let's put it back to where it belongs. It belongs to this particular module, and make this as public, and you can run. It will always run for you. It will not give you an error. You can see the changes over here. Now what we can also do for running our macros, for running our function, we can put a button over. If we have some data and we want to perform some tasks, we can always put a or insert some form of a control, ActiveX control or simple form X control. Say I place a button over here and I want to assign this button some functionality. So again, the same macro dialog box will open for you. It will ask you a name for this particular macro, and you have to give the name. Say I assign it show value and click on OK. So this particular button, if I click on this particular button over here, so you can see the same, we have assigned the macro which we have created earlier to this particular button. You can see once I click on this button, you can see the function being called for you. So this can be done. You can do the coding, you can have some controls on your Excel sheet, and you can assign that particular macro to the button or any other control which you are having on your Excel sheet. That can also be done. So in today's video, we have discussed how we can create macros using VBA. We have already done how we can how we can record a macro. Today we have seen how we can code the macros, how we can do the coding and do the macro recording. Now if you know little bit of coding, if you know VB beforehand, you can always experiment with different controls. You can use different conditional conditions, you can work with loops and perform tasks for yourself. You can do the entire coding over here. You can experiment with different codes and work and create your own very functions for working with Excel. I hope you found this information useful. We will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and thank you for watching.